And we're back. This is Helldozer from Zombieland Gaming, and today we are going after the next biggest game. Yep, you guessed it. That's a Bronto, and it's a female, and it's level 24. Now, the method that I'm going to use to tame this guy is I'm going to sit right up on this cliff. Now, I know that in early access, you had to still be very careful doing this from here because they still, if you were at level of their head and tail, they could still hit you through the cliff or the mountain. So I'm a little bit higher, and I'm not sure how it's going to react. It might run, it might not. This is going to be a straight berry tame. I'm probably going to wind up building a little bit of a house here to deal with this because I am a little bit farther from home. Home is over on the other side. The lagoon is over here. And it's definitely not going to be done at all within any kind of a quick kind of time frame. So I'm going to have to build a house. I'm going to probably run around collecting mats, doing this and that, probably running them back home. But once I have everything set up, I'll probably take Big Boy home and leave him there. Now, this is going to basically, in essence, unemploy Big Boy other than just a pack mule. This guy will definitely be good for the thatch, the wood. Berries will, not that they've been a problem, but really won't be able to be a problem anymore. The one thing that I did do is I did get one of those, I like to call them little pigs. They're also called poop machines because you can feed them berries, the stem berries, and they will just drop medium-sized poop like a madman, and then just feed them berries, and it's a never-ending process. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started with this and see how this all goes. Looks okay. He's wedged. Well, this may actually work out for us. Now I'm doing body shots. You definitely should try to get the head and the neck region. That's going to help you out. Yeah, he's real mad at me. So I'm going to go up on this rock and see if I can still get a vantage. Nope, definitely not going to be getting a vantage point there. I don't want to get... Oh. Oh. Well, it looks as though he might be a little smarter. She might be a little smarter than I thought. Oh, no. Okay. I want to take advantage of as much of the dino being wedged with this strategy, because the dino being wedged is a dino not chasing you, and it's a dino that's not running away. As you can see, she turned to the left, didn't get away, so she's going to be wedged in there pretty good. This is going to be how this is going to go. Like I said, you should be doing neck and body shots, or neck and head shots. I'm doing more body shots. I'm just machine gunning them in. I know that there's been a lot of conjecture about what method is better, and everything that I've seen is just machine them in with the crossbow. Now, a higher damage one is going to be better for DPS, but you also then have to balance the fact that you are going to be doing damage to it. So you could back off and not use the machine gun method to balance out the torpor versus the damage, but you really need to find your own balance. What you find online is what you find online, and it's just a guide. So whatever works best for you is what you can use, but above all, the thing that does the most bang for your buck is the crossbow. The rifle with the tranq darts just doesn't do. You can over DPS and wind up killing the mob. It does a lot more torpor, but it's a little bit more difficult to control, if that makes sense, from everything that I've been told and everything that I've seen. So we got her down. Now it's just getting Big Boy over there. Now I'm going to clear out this area. I'm going to take all this, all the wood, all the rock. Let's see what we got here. Okay, I have all the berries. And that's the other reason I brought Big Boy for this, was because of the berries. If I do need some extra, which I'm going to need some knockout berries, Big Boy is going to be the man in charge for getting that for me. Now, I'm going to take a risk. And again, this is, do this at your own risk. It's what I do. I can't just stand here and, wait for something to wake up. It just kills me. My ADD kicks in and I start going nuts. So I'm going to definitely load up Big Boy with some mats and probably run him back. There is a small chance, and it can happen, that a wild dino will come and mess with it. But in my experience, the bigger the dino, the less chance of that happening. Meaning, I haven't seen like a Dilo or something like this mess with a Rex so much as they might, like a Trike or something of that nature. So you can still kind of get away with cheesing things. You just have to be a little bit more careful with the particular mob that you pick, how you do things, and stuff like that. So I'm going to drop that stuff. I definitely brought enough arrows, and I've already made the saddle for her. So I'm not going to drop the saddle into the inventory for the simple fact that if, in fact, something bad does happen while I'm away, I won't lose the saddle. The saddle is a little expensive to make. I found out, I learned a harsh lesson earlier today. I had gotten a Sarco last night. It had come wandering into my base during the night and was messing with my pterosaurs. So it wound up running. It was only a low level. It was only a level 8. I just used raw meat to tame it. And I went out into the ocean to go after some oil. I felt real good about myself and learned a harsh lesson to stay away from the jellyfish. The jellyfish are very bad. They're very nasty. They have a lower health, but they shock your creature. They raise its torpor and then eventually kill it. There were 4, and 1 broke off to chase me. And I was fairly close to shore, but I was underwater. I did not have what it took to be able to defend the Sarco and survive. So I lost the saddle. I lost the 28 oil, which didn't please me, and I lost some pearls. They weren't black, they were white, but all the same, it doesn't please me that this happened. I absolutely cannot stand. I know it's a survival game. I know that it happens. It just drives me absolutely batshit when it does happen because I can't stand it. As a lot of people, some people, it's just a video game. But it's no different than when you were playing Super Mario on NES. I mean, you were still putting work in, and it still felt rewarding, getting to finishing the game. So it kind of sucks losing your dinos, but that's the nature of the beast, and there's nothing you can do about it, except move on and go grab another one, collect some more mats, which are not, I will admit, very hard to grab. I discovered that there were a couple of more beaver dens in the woods by where the beaver dens that I raided yesterday were. Now, I'm waiting for the guy to respawn. He should be respawning. And really all that I have for flight is just my little island hopper Petrodon. So I got to kind of... I have to go after it Argent. I know that. I've just been running around base and kind of taking what I can from the area before I really go out running around. So I'm going to continue to use him. I've seen some higher level ones that I will probably try to go after I get Big Girl here home. Got to be a little careful here because I know that there's a lot of piranhas. And there's a very wide selection of dinos here that are not exactly what I would call user-friendly. So it's going to be a little touch and go here maybe. I think that we're on the safer side over here, so I don't think anything's really going to mess with her. I am going kind of crazy farming. And I know that he's going to Big Boy's going to fill up fairly quick. So I'm going to probably try to run home before it really starts to get dark. Okay, it's already at 10%. Now, we've got a pile of berries on. We've got close to 300 berries, just under. So it's going to probably be a little bit quicker tame. I'm about 10 eggs away from being able to go after the 112 Anki, and that's, again, I'm kind of really hoping that that guy doesn't respawn, because the female was 112, the male was 20. So I would love, I've also started a raft, so I would love to bring a mated pair back to the base, just for the simple fact of, one, having them, two, if I want to start creating Anki babies, I can, but it's also going to help if I'm going to where, like, there's metal up on that hill there, taking the Anki, destroying it, and going back home with a bunch of metal. Now, the big problem is going to be oil, because that's really what's holding me back. Now, I know that there is a cave not far from here. As a matter of fact, it's behind me. It's just on the other side of this little hill cliff thing. And there's always 2 to 4 beetles in there. The problem is the mobs that are in there now. They put this, I know, you'll have to excuse me, I'm not real sure of the actual name of it, but I call it the centipede bitch, because that centipede, it bites like a bitch, and it will drop you. So there's scorpions in there, and this is kind of funny. When I first started playing, I would go in there just in armor with the 4 weapons on my bar, and I would clear out the cave like that. And once I discovered that you could get wolves in there, I had taken some wolves as into the petting farm that we had, and when you could go into the cave with it, and that made the cave clears a lot easier, because I just pumped its defense and attack, and it sliced through anything that came at me. So it's going to be a little challenging. I got to kind of work up the nerve to go in there as solo to see if I can find something. You know, I just have the base weapons, so I'm kind of a lot afraid. You know, going in there with that kind of setup, it may not exactly work out in my favor. Now, Big Boy is kind of full, so I am going to have to leave some of the stuff. I may just build a cabinet here. I don't know. Definitely drop that, and definitely drop that. Okay. I know that there's berries. I know that there's knockout juice on them. But, okay. I'm going to take the chance. I'm going to drop some wood on her. Okay, hopefully that might be good enough. Okay, so the area is kind of clear. If there's any predators in the area, I mean, I'm just going to have, it's just how it's going to have to be dealt with. He is a little slower. I probably should drop a little bit more. But I'm going to get back home with Big Boy. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pause the video, and I will start it back up. I'll come back when I am back at the tame. Be right back, guys. And we're back. So I went, did my little drop back at base. I'm probably... No, I'm not going to get that. It's wood, though. I can't. It's such a resource. I'm probably just going to go ahead and load up the Bronto. She's about... Well, she's 40% done, which is pretty good. Now, One of the things that you might be tempted to do while you're bored is to go ahead and kill off some of the wildlife that's around. I learned a lesson kind of not very early on that that's a bad idea, and here's why. Say a dilo comes running in. If you leave wildlife up, the dilo will go after that wildlife instead of running for you and your tame and whatever dino you've brought. So it kind of like that. Okay. Oh, it's this. I hate these birds. I was gonna say I didn't see anything on the ground. What are you doing? Like, what is this business? There we go. Bye bye, buddy. Bye bye. It's a good idea to maybe leave some wildlife up. Nothing sucks more than losing a tame to a dilo. Yeah, that's happened to me. So, I'm not saying the aggressive ones. Like, definitely clear those out. But like the parasaurs, the little dodos, leave those guys laying around because you never know. They could actually save your tame and save you. Oh, I'm encumbered. Oh, good. So I'm going to actually start loading up the Bronto because it is starting to get a little dark, and I'm not going to... Well, the sun's going down. It's going to probably be dark in maybe about 5-10 minutes real time, so I don't want to be caught out in the middle running supplies, this and that. And while I was back, I did discover that I'm only about 9 or 10 eggs away from being able to go after that Anki. So hopefully within the next day or so, that's going to be a definite possibility. I have 7 females and 9 males, and I'm trying to find... I know that there's a sweet spot. I haven't looked it up recently to have the right balance of dinos, because I know that once you find that sweet spot, it's nothing but egg heaven. On our live server, we had more eggs than we knew what to do with. Okay, we're going to go ahead and clean you out a little bit. Okay. And we'll put that back in there because I'm going to need that. Okay, so when you have a dino like this, I know that one of the things that I like to do is to go ahead is craft up some torches. Now, you're out in the wild, why not? Go ahead, get the torches made, lay them out, cut down a couple of trees, throw some wood in there, just do whatever. I'm playing a single-player game, like I said, so I have a little bit more freedom to just go ahead. I don't want to litter the world with my fires and stuff like that, so I'm still going to probably go ahead and break them down because they can affect spawns, and I just don't want to play games with that. So I'll get some of the mats back, not that I'm worried about them, but it doesn't hurt to light up your area. And again, I've heard conflicting reports that that light will drag them to you, and you're risking being attacked. I've also heard that making fires will push dinos away. So it's kind of whatever. I've always lit it up, and I've never had a problem. So once I get a little farther along, I'm going to definitely drop some spikes. Like if I go up, when I go up to the frozen north, that's definitely going to be something that I would lay. Is I'm going to encircle an area, and I mean, there's tons of dinos around, so you don't always need to bring your own supplies, but it's a good idea to bring some starter supplies at least, so that you can go ahead and you're not, okay, the tame is down, you're going after it, and now you're boxed in by a bunch of things, and you still have to get supplies. So you're having to defend the tame, get your supplies, get going, and it just turns into a giant shit show of trying to get stuff done. Anything hits the tame, it loses levels. That's bad. Like, there's nothing says I could have had a perfect tame better than, well, if you would have brought some supplies to at least get started and do like a quarter block or a half a block off. So that's something else to consider when you're doing this. I definitely went tame crazy. The server never hit its tame limit, but I'm sure that I contributed my fair share because I'm one of those people. And that was definitely, in my defense, before breeding came along and you know, all of that. So it was definitely, I never saw a 120, and that was the max level at the time, that I didn't take home. So see how things are coming along over here. Okay, she's a little over halfway done. Okay, yep, she's getting filled up. So I'm definitely going to back off of going out into like the heavily wooded area. I don't want to get caught out, you know, at dark without my dino. So I'm going to probably hang around more here. I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. I'll restart it up if anything major happens, you know, anything entertaining, worthwhile. But I'm thinking that this is hopefully, keeping fingers and toes crossed, that this is just going to be a smooth tame, and I will come back and show you our new Bronto when it's time. Be right back, guys. And as promised, she is up and getting the well-deserved name of Earthquake. So there she is. She popped with all 11 levels, so I'm really happy about that. There's her stats. Almost 2,500 health. She can carry 1760 in weight, and her melee damage is 550. Stamina at 432, so the stamina is a little low, so I'm definitely going to have to work on the damage and the stamina. So unfortunately, big boy, your time has almost reached its end, other than just being a taxi service. So let's get him home. Oh yeah, that stamina is real low. But this is everything that I cleared out. You're getting a good look of the damage that I can do to an area when I put my mind to it. So what I might do is I'm going to go ahead. Where's Big Boy? There he is. Come here, Big Boy. Get out from underneath Earthquake. Come on, buddy. Okay, so I'm going to trade out... Oh, I have enough. I'm going to take a couple of stacks. Put them on Earthquake. Okay, she'll be able to move. So yeah, I'm going to ride on Big Boy. He's going to be a little bit quicker. So we're on our way home. I think I'll end the video here. This has been Helldozer for Zombieland Gaming. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. Check out my other series and my other videos. I'm going to be adding content just like I have been pretty much every single day. Thank you for the support that you guys have been showing and the comments and everything. And we will see you again later. See you guys.